down here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and the Financial Conduct Authority. John Guidi is my name. I'm from Glasgow. I'm 63 and I'm a bankrupt. To use Mr. Bailey's words, I'll go back a little bit. In March 17th of this year, I entered a hunger strike to protest against the sale of toxic loans sold to me by Clydesdale Yorkshire Bank, who then proceeded to sell them to an unregulated and unlicensed American vulture fund, Cerberus, who indeed asset stripped all my companies, and they're about to evict me from my home of 30 years. The bank engaged me on the 17th of March and said that it would look at my case. As of this date, 4 months on, I have absolutely no resolution to that, Mr. Bailey, and I need to bring that to your attention today. My question is twofold. What assurances can the Financial Conduct Authority give me that, notwithstanding the senior management regime and reporting of such, and indeed the new BBRS scheme for small, medium enterprises that is being discussed as a resolution, what assurances can the Financial Conduct Authority give me that, in fact, enforcement action, which I believe is the only thing that our banking industry will in fact set up and look at, where they are penalised for acting, what I believe, incorrectly? My second question is, the regulatory framework is indeed very opaque. But my question to you is, I took loans with a United Kingdom bank. I gave a personal guarantee with a United Kingdom bank. And indeed, that United Kingdom bank is subject to a compensation scheme that we're all well aware of, and that Mr. Bailey alluded to quite rightly as being very extensive. But that same bank was allowed to sell my loans, my personal guarantee and all my securities, to an unregulated, unaccountable, private equity firm that is based not in Britain, but in fact in Ireland. And indeed, on those 2 points, I would ask the committee for their help, because for me, I am truly at the end of my tether and at the end of my road. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for that question. Andrew, I'm afraid all the questions...
I will... No, so, Mr. Guidi, I very much regret the situation you're in. I hope, as you remember, I did intervene on your behalf with Clydesdale, because I recognised that your personal situation was such that there was no question that to be honest with you, whatever the regulatory framework, the bank needs to sort this out. I'm happy, I will intervene again to find out what is going on. But I did intervene at the point, and particularly at the point when you were, as you said, contemplating beginning your hunger strike. I took that very seriously. There are a number of difficult facts in here, but I think there is a way through it, I hope. First of all, I have to come back to the perimeter, I'm afraid. Obviously, the original loans were outside the perimeter. That does limit the scope for action. It does mean that the scope for enforcement action, because this also predates the senior manager's regime, is much more limited. Had it happened now, the scope would be much greater, because the senior manager's regime covers all the activity a firm undertakes, irrespective of whether it's regulated or not. But let me finish with 2 points. I very much intend, and I've said many times, and I know I've said actually in the context of your case, you referred to the so-called DBRS scheme, which is the scheme that is being put together by the banks and representatives of groups of borrowers, that will be a scheme which can independently and appropriately and fairly deal with cases like yours. That is the best place. My view, I've said it before, but I'm happy to say it again, yours is a case that should go there. The final point, and I'm sorry to have to say this, but again, I have to make a point about the law. I'm afraid the law of this country does allow loans to be sold. We can't stop that happening. You may feel that's the wrong law, but that is the current position.
Okay. So